As of the time of writing, Alison Brie and Dave Franco's Together has a near-perfect 99% score on the Rotten Tomatoes tomatometer, surpassing the rest of 2025's horror films. It's been a solid year for scary movies, with some of the biggest successes of 2025 at the box office being independent horror movies like Sinners or returning franchises like Final Destination. Those movies have also been doing well with critics. However, neither of them is the most acclaimed horror movie of the year. That honor goes to Together, Alison Brie and Dave Franco's body horror/relationship dramedy. Focusing on a couple who find themselves merging into a single body, Together has been riding high since it debuted at the Sundance Film Festival to rave reviews. The reception has only gotten more pronounced as time has gone on, with Together currently one of Rotten Tomatoes' best reviewed films of 2025. Here's what critics are saying about Together and how it's helping the film stand out in a crowded field. Together has been met with almost universally positive reviews, with a strong debut at the Sundance Film Festival cementing it as one of the best-rated horror films of 2025 on Rotten Tomatoes. Many critics left the 2025 Sundance Film Festival praising Together, building up momentum for it in the film industry. For a directorial debut, Shanks hits Together out of the park with his delightfully squirm-worthy horror comedy. The film is elevated by Brie and Franco's pitch-perfect portrayals. Their clever on-screen performances mesh well in a way that demands your attention, even when you want to desperately look away. Patrice Witherspoon. This led to a palpable sense of excitement among other critics, raising anticipation and expectations for the movie. The fact that Together met these heights is partly why critics love it. Plenty have praised the film, including Ross Bonamy from Collider, BJ Colangelo from Fangoria, Britt Hayes from MovieWeb, Thomas Lafley from Roger Ebert, and Aisha Harris of NPR. Even the more mixed reviews are ultimately positive, with a single negative review preventing it from maintaining a perfect score. Collider senior producer Perry Nemiroff was particularly positive about the film, sharing her thoughts about the film on her YouTube channel. A brilliantly twisted and wildly entertaining way of exploring codependent relationships. It's a story that demands leads who can do it all. Comedy, bonkers horror, and then some. Dave Franco and Alison Brie can do it all, and this movie soars because of it. Perry Nemiroff, at the time of writing, Together has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a very impressive feat for Together, especially considering that it's Michael Shanks' feature-length directorial debut. While the filmmaker has made some well-received shorts and television episodes, Together's success will likely move him into the spotlight. Together's mesh of body horror, dark comedy, and character pathos makes it a uniquely effective blend of genres that keeps one engrossed in its tight execution. Together's thematic introspection of relationships lands thanks to great performances, and it features some genuinely horrifying visuals. While many of the reviews of Together don't give it a perfect score, they all seem to enjoy at least some aspects of the film enough to forgive the problems. The fact that it stars a real-life married couple only adds to the chemistry and complexity, giving it a rawness and authenticity that critics seem to be eating up. Together is currently among the best-reviewed films of 2025 at all, with a strong showing of 99%, elevating it above almost every other wide release. At the time of writing, there are only 2 films that still have a perfect 100% score released so far in 2025, On Becoming a Guinea Fowl and Ephus. This is especially impressive when comparing Together to other horror films released in 2025, many of which have also been earning good reviews. One of 2025's biggest box office success stories has been the thunderous response to Sinners, but Ryan Coogler's vampire period piece has a 97% tomatometer score. The year has had plenty of other strong entries in the genre, like The Ugly Stepsister, Strange Harvest, Final Destination Bloodlines, and Companion. Other films like 28 Years Later, Bring Her Back, Presence, Dangerous Animals, The Monkey, Hard Eyes, and Drop have earned certified fresh status, but can't match Together's score.